All right, guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about my YouTube channel and the goals that I have for it. So if that bores you, I understand. I'll see you on the next one. But I like documenting this stuff for myself and for other YouTubers to learn from as well. Not saying that I'm great. You may be learning from my mistakes just as much as my successes. So today is officially my 4-year anniversary of starting a podcast. I posted an interview with comedian Anthony Davis 4 years ago today. It was a phone interview. There was no video for that episode, but that's how I started this thing. And now it has evolved into a full-blown video podcast and YouTube channel. And the channel's changed over the years. It started out with podcast clips, then full podcasts and video podcasts, then video clips of my podcasts. And now I'm also doing live streams, news breaks, and these edited solo videos of just me talking about stuff. So what I've learned so far when it comes to podcasts and YouTube, first of all, if you have a podcast on YouTube, you have to have video. Very rarely do you get views if your podcast is audio only. Second, if you do a 30-minute or hour-long podcast or longer, you really have to post at least one clip of the interview. The clips are going to get way more views than the full-length interview typically. And when I try to lead people to watch the full interview or at least subscribe and watch more clips, that's the best way to do it, is from a clip of the interview, not the full interview. Some channels break up their entire interviews into chunks, and I think that strategy can work as well. Another thing I've learned is just because you have 1,000 subscribers doesn't mean that every video gets 1,000 views. So people subscribe to several channels and then they watch the best content of all those subscriptions. You've got to catch their eye right away with a catchy title, interesting thumbnail, or a big name celebrity guest. Even though I have over 2,000 subscribers, I don't have 2,000 loyal viewers who watch every video I make, and I think that's pretty common. Not every video is gonna hit, and sometimes it's hard to figure out the algorithm. Sometimes it's a big name guest and it does poorly, and other times it can be a guest that is not well known, but if it's an interesting topic, it can do well. Podcast clips and short videos can be even more mysterious. It could just be the topic. Another thing I've learned about podcasts and YouTube is that it really helps if you have some expertise besides just interviewing guests for your channels. If you think of some of the most successful podcasters who interview guests, usually they have something else that they're known for, such as they're a comedian, an author, an actor, or at least there's someone that has opinions and does solo videos of them talking, and you're interested in hearing what they have to say. That brings me to my next point, changes to my channel. I do want to discuss some changes I'll be making. I've probably said this before, but if you missed it, I want to do more talking videos, just me talking without guests, not a podcast, but I'm still going to use the same channel. I still have all my podcast interviews on here, but also the live stream videos that may or may not include a guest, and solo edited videos like the one I did on Izzy Stradlin and the one on my career and education. Plan to do a lot more of those types of videos. When I started this thing 4 years ago, I told myself I'd give it at least 5 years, maybe 7, maybe 10, but at least 5 years before I pull the plug. I'll probably never quit completely, but at some point I may dial things back to once a week or twice a month and make this more of a hobby. But for now, I'm still all in, and I have some aggressive goals for the year. If you have a YouTube channel or if you want to start one, you can play along. What you want to do is just list how many subscribers you currently have, how many views you currently have, and how many you want to have by the end of the year. If you're new, it would be 0 views and 0 subscribers. And maybe your goal is to hit 100 subs and 1,000 views by the end of the year. Seems reasonable. And then at the end of the year, I'll revisit this video and see who met their goals. And of course, if I did it for myself as well. Before I list my own goals, I want to take stock of where I am at with this YouTube channel. So I've got 334,318 total views on the channel, 2,188 total subscribers. Okay, so for subscriber goals, I want to hit 3,000 by September 1st, and I want to hit 10,000 by January 1st. I think for views, a reasonable goal would be 500,000 by September 1st. I think 1 million by January 1st. And this may seem like a crazy ambitious goal, and it probably is, but if I really want to get where I want to be, I need to kick things up a notch. How am I going to reach these goals? Well, one thing I need to realize when I set these goals is to try to break it up into chunks, but I don't think it's going to be divided up equally, because in my experience, YouTube is more exponential. So for me to get 800 new subs in the next 3 months, I don't think it's going to hit like 270 subs each month evenly. I think it's going to probably hit more like 100 the first month, then 250 the second month, then 450 the third month. I feel like that's a more realistic path with the way YouTube does things. So I'll need to map out those numbers exactly and review it as often as I can. And if I'm not hitting those numbers, then I'll obviously need to change some things up. But the main thing I want to do is I want to try to upload every day, whether it's a podcast interview, a podcast clip, a live video, a solo short, or a solo edited video. I want to try and post something daily. And I might not make every day. Some days might be more than once, but minimum, I think I should be posting 25 days a month at least. I may need to adjust that goal, but for now, that's the plan. I think the way that usually will break down is probably 2 to 3 podcasts a week, along with 2 to 3 podcast clips and 2 to 3 non-podcast related solo videos, news breaks, or live streams. I've been doing the podcast stuff so long, I feel like I'm pretty good at the interviews, but unfortunately it just seems like I've reached a ceiling with the guests, and I really want to break through to that next level of bigger name guests. And I think the only way to do that is by building up the channel and my subscribers. And publicists want to see the numbers, and right now I don't think I have that. So I think I can build the channel partly through the podcast interviews, but I feel like the shorter videos and podcast clips are going to get me more subscribers faster and grow the channel. And then with more subscribers, I can get bigger guests and hopefully the ones that I've been targeting for some time now. Okay, so what kind of non-podcast related videos do I want to do? Well, some of them will be like this, talking about my YouTube channel and podcasting. Other videos are going to be about other things I'm knowledgeable about or interested in. I'm going to try a variety of topics and styles and just see what takes off. The main thing for these next 3 months is going to be to upload a lot of content and take a lot of risks. And I want to try different things and experiment and see what hits and what doesn't. And I think that will be good for the podcast guests as well. I've got some really interesting guests lined up, and some of them may not have huge followings, but I find them interesting, and I think they'll be very interesting interviews. And sometimes that's how it works. The big name guest with all the followers doesn't always get the most views. And if it's a short clip, a lot of that is on me and how I edit it. This is going to be an interesting next 3 months and 6 months. I have some lofty goals, but I love a challenge. I'm still looking to improve my production on YouTube, and I'm still looking for a video and podcast producer. I made a video about that, so I'll link that at the end. But the main thing I need is someone to do some editing and help with the production aspects. I definitely like to revamp my podcast episodes with a different intro, outro, and theme song. Also looking to make a new trailer since the one I have is desperately outdated. And if you know of anyone who might be interested in video and audio production for YouTube or podcast videos, please send them my producer wanted video at the end here. If I can't find anyone soon, I'll probably just do all this stuff myself, which sucks because it takes away from me working on actual content, but I also understand how important it is. All right, well, I think that's it for now. I hope to reach 3,000 subscribers by September, 10,000 in January. Regardless, I'll make a video at the end of the year to document my journey and share what I've learned. Thanks for watching this. If you're still here, maybe you learned something and maybe you didn't, but at least it was useful for me to map this all out and have you guys hold me accountable. And remember, if you have a YouTube channel or you want to start one and you have a subscriber or view count goal, write it in the comments and we can revisit it at the end of the year. Thanks so much.